get there if everybody will start talking to each other.
In the last week, we've seen the president have two high-profile border security lunches. Not that we're not happy to see you, but you're not a Democrat. Democrats weren't at a meeting he had the other week. It was just Republican lawmakers. Why aren't Democrats coming over here? Did he ask you to bring any? Should you have brought some with you? When can we see Senator
Well, it's pretty hard to get here from Hawaii, but the phones do work.
What about last week?
So all I can say is that the Democrats have said they're not going to give him a dime for a border wall. The House will change next week. They're going to send over to a bill from the House. They won't have any money for a physical barrier, wall, fence, artistically designed slats, and that's not going to fly. So the approach the Democrats have taken have made it pretty hard to have a discussion. They're telling us what they won't do. After lunch today, I think the president is telling us what he wants, and he's willing to do some things to get what he wants. And to my Democratic friends, there's some things that you want that can be had if you agree to border security in a reasonable way. The reason we're not talking is because the House Democrats have told us there's no way, no how you're going to get anything you want.
Senator, did you talk to the president? I apologize, I'm late, but did you talk to the president about slowing down the Syria troop withdrawal, perhaps reconsidering that?
I think the president's trip to Iraq was eye-opening. The commanders there told him that ISIS was in a world of hurt, not completely destroyed, but well on their way. I think operations to completely destroy and decimate ISIS are going to be ongoing and are going to be accelerated. So the president assured me that he's going to make sure he gets the job done, and I assured him that nobody has done more to defeat ISIS than he has. We're inside the 10-yard line. Then you got the Kurds that we need to be concerned about. They stepped up when nobody else would, and he's very aware of that problem. He's going to be talking to Turkey about assuring Turkey that they will have a buffer zone that they need, given their concerns about the YPG Kurds. But the last thing in the world we want is a war between Turkey and the Kurds. That takes pressure off ISIS. And the last thing we want, in addition to that, is Iran to be the big winner here. So I think the president's going to finish the job when it comes to ISIS. I share his goal to withdraw our forces from Syria. I just want to do it in a smart way, make sure that Iran's not the big winner. And after the discussions with the president and General Dunford, I've never felt better about where we're headed. I think we're slowing things down in a smart way, but the goal has always been the same: to be able to leave Syria, make sure ISIS never comes back, our partners are taken care of, and Iran's contained, and I think that's possible. It's going to take a little longer than everybody thought, but hopefully we can get there.
You said you wanted him to reconsider on Syria after your meeting. Do you think that's what he's doing?
I think the president has come up with a plan with his generals that makes sense to me. The goal is to make sure ISIS doesn't come back. We left Iraq too soon. We had them on the ropes in Iraq, left too soon. I think the president's very committed to making sure that when we leave Syria, that ISIS is completely defeated and we're inside the 10-yard line. And the Iran-Kurd situation has to be dealt with. So I think we're in a pause situation where we're reevaluating what's the best way to achieve the president's objective of having people pay more and do more. We have the British and the French still in Syria. God bless them. But the region needs to put some money into Syria. How do you hold Raqqa that's completely destroyed without having somebody help rebuild it? I think the president is right that the rebuilding should come from the region. And we'll see what happens here in the next few weeks. But I feel better about Syria than I felt before I had lunch. I think the president's taking this really seriously, and the trip to Iraq was well timed. Thanks.
So is he open to keeping troops in Syria?